And a massive shout out to our supporters over at patreon.com/878 Survivor FM. Our $10 supporters, Dick Donovan, Kenny Baker, Big Dog, Shane Murphy, and Archie Stormcloud. Our two $25 supporters, Jake Snow and Red Freedom, and our one YouTube member, Kenny Baker. Thank you all for your support, and we hope you enjoy the show. And we are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And welcome to episode 73 of the... Oh, see what I did there? Hey. Nothing like a bit of a shill for myself, guys. 73. Oh, you trying to do with the episode number? How you doing today, lad?
I'm all right. Not doing too bad. Just a bit tired, a bit worn out, but I'm still fucking trudging along. And
you're here, mate, and that's the most important thing. And we are joined by special guest host this week, DanceofJesus. How you doing, buddy?
How's it going? Doing good.
Very excited about your Twitter feed of late, mate. We'll talk more about that later in the show, but you've been doing God's work in the background, mate.
As always.
As we say on this show all the time, modders are the salt of the earth when it comes to DayZ. Fuck us content creator guys. It's all about you modders. You're the ones keeping this game going.
Damn right.
And tonight's special guest, the one, the only, Churchypoo. I think we'll call you Poo Poo Head for the rest of the podcast. No, we'll call you Churchy. We'll call you Churchy, mate. And you are now the lead guy over at the Chernarus Has Fallen team.
Yeah. I didn't want it to take and be dropped, so
yeah,
I wanted to pick it up.
And we'll talk more about how you ended up in that role very, very soon. But you guys have got a really interesting server over there. I know a lot of the stuff was just done before you came into taking control of it. But one of the things I've loved about you guys is you're almost heading DayZ Underground-ish in that you're creating a massive amount of lore associated with your server.
Yeah, well, we're trying to do something a little different that not many people have actually seen, and love it to listen to the feedback and people struggling. I love playing it too because, I love the hardcore aspect I brought into DayZ with being on a hardcore server, so...
It's really impressive, mate. It really, really is impressive. It's just such a... I got to play on the server, even with my terrible Australian ping to it. It's in the low to high 300s, but it's still so enjoyable. Last week's guest Gecko Fish has even played on the server and really enjoyed it because you're going for not just a PvP kill fest, but also a really strong. Which is so hard to get right. The balance of getting a PvE server right, lad, it's a difficult thing to achieve without, basically that grind of, did I find the knife? No, I'm dead. Did I find the knife? No, I'm dead. Yes. Oh, I found the knife. I'm going to survive.
The greatest knife meta known to mankind.
Yeah,
I mean, getting a hardcore server right is very, very difficult. There's only very, very few servers that out there that have actually managed to achieve it, but they're still always tweaking it, which is really, really good. Even if the system is working, it still always needs work, obviously. So really, really cool.
So we should probably talk about how you ended up with the server, Churchy.
Costageo, he used to own it. He was completely stressed out with owning the server, mods breaking and him always have to look into things. So it was stressful. And, everyone that owns a server knows how stressful it can be. And it was actually hitting his personal life as well. So it was affecting that. So he was like, I don't want it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore because it's affecting everything. And I didn't speak up until to the point where after he announced that he was shutting it down to everybody, he told us admins about it. I didn't want to step up in the place where John Likely or Ginsler, they used to be like they're there before me, and I didn't want to step up and take their spot. I wanted them to step up and say, "Hey, I want it," or "Hey, I don't." And once they sat there and said no, I was like, "I'm taking it. Let's go. Let's keep it going."
No, I'm really, really happy you did, mate, because it's when someone told me that the server was closing down, I was like, oh my fucking god, this is just like After Dark. We had Jad on last week talking about that server a bit as well, but it just seemed like it was After Dark all over again for me.
Yeah, we actually got some extra little stuff that's up our sleeves, and how I became admin to the server was I told Costageo, I was like, hey, let's use my personal server and let's add another map to the whole series.
Yep.
And he goes, let's just use that as a test server for right now. And then when we get that running and see how we all like it, then we'll go and transfer it to the actual server, like put another server up for it. So that's how I became a server admin, and I was helping them out figuring things out. One of the bugs that we came across was in John Likely's mod pack. It was eating everyone's ammo and mags and stuff. And like people were very upset with that. So we took his mod off the server and put it onto my server and figured out, hey, these are the new ones that you added. Let's look into those. And he ended up taking those off. So we haven't added it back to the server yet because we're going to use it as a test server mod, but we're going to update the new CHF and have our own like CHF mod pack and have that onto the server to take place of the original Chernarus Has Fallen.
And speaking of John, why did he stand us up tonight? I was quite excited when I heard he was going to be coming on as well.
He has to work, unfortunately.
No.
I would have loved to have him and Gio with us, but they're both working tonight.
Yep.
Gotta end the daily bread.
But we talked about it a bit before. We can't underestimate, and DOJ, this is something that you would probably be quite aware of as well, just how much time goes into running a server.
I haven't fully run a server, but I know like all the problems you can run into. And it takes a lot of time.
It's such a big ask of someone, particularly if there is no money coming in for them, to incentivize them. If it's a passion project, these servers can quickly become a money pit for little to no return, other than the feeling of doing good things. And when it comes to that, that work-life balance, because at the end of the day, running a server does become like a job, especially if your server takes off and starts getting successful, which Chernarus Has Fallen is starting to do. It's starting to attract a bit of attention, isn't it, Churchy?
Yeah, when Costageo had it, he had roughly about 15 people on there at a time. When I took over, a lot of people left, but we're starting to get the traction back. I've seen about 10 people at max so far, and looking at the server right now, there's 5 people on it, so I'm super excited to keep on bringing new and more stuff to them.
That's awesome. That's really, really awesome. So you said before the show you've got a couple of announcements to make about the server, mate.
Yep. For one, John Likely and I, we're going to get together this weekend, and we're going to actually look into making a merch store. So everything that is purchased on the merch store will go towards the server performance or the length of the server. So I'm hoping that will help people get more interested in it. So we're gonna have like coffee mugs. One of the tiers that's in our Patreon, I'm gonna personally send you a sticker of the Chernarus Has Fallen flag, so you can actually represent that way.
Nice.
And my big announcement that only the admins know right now, and I'm gonna tell you guys and everyone that listens, we're coming out with a new server, and it's gonna have the hive mod pack on there where you can go from one map to the other, and the new map is gonna be Deer Isle.
Can I make a suggestion to you?
Sure.
Patreon. Now, I know you guys had it before, but there's also something that now I'm going to give all of the explicit. I'm just chuckling at the tete-a-tete between DOJ and Archie in chat there. Archie being quite cheeky. Anything you want to say to him, DOJ? You've got a mic and he doesn't.
Fuck you.
Nice.
That's it.
One thing, let me just move that over here. One thing that people forget about with, and yes, this is going to be a bit of a shameless plug for our 87.8 Survivor FM Patreon, but let me just share my screen. What you can do with Patreon is set up merch that gets sent directly to people the longer they support your server. So if you look at your page, let me just make this full size.
Get there eventually, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, you have to forgive me. I'm such a fucking boomer. I'm on this site all the time now. I'm actually really starting to understand the value of it. But actually, I know how to do this. Page. View page. And I should be able to view it as a, there we go. View your public page. Okay. So I've got 3 tiers. And with those tiers, they actually get merch sent to them depending on the level they're at. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, it sends it directly to them. So it's a way of rewarding people for being... Yeah, I've got people who've received T-shirts, coffee mugs. I think we just had a long sleeve T-shirt sent out, and after 12 months they get a hoodie. So it all comes directly out of the fees that are paid into you on Patreon. Plus the other, so it's up to you how much you give away and how much you don't. I like to, give out as much as I can. Even at the lower level, they still get a sticker sent out to them. But yeah, so it's up to you with global shipping included. It's up to you whether you want to do it. And you could do this as a content creator. You can do this as a server. You can do this as a mod of DanceofJesus. You could set it up so that it's a per month, or you could set it up so that it's per, say you're working towards creating a mod. And once you achieve that mod, people pay you when you achieve the mod that you said you were going to do. There's so many different ways of doing it. You definitely need to look into it. There's Marks will hate me for saying this, but there's a really good channel called Devin Nash, and he's got a video about why you want looks like DayZ, looks like Discord mirroring webcam. DayZ on t-shirt is unreadable. Okay. I'm not quite sure what that means, but yeah, someone buy DOJ the 87A panties.
But if you make panties, I'll buy them just for the memes.
I will check the merch store. But yeah, and it's an easy way of doing it that people can support it. You can give them other benefits, exclusive roles in your Discord, shout outs if they pick the higher tier. It's up to you. Just be as creative as you can with how you sell your Discord or your Patreon and what benefits they get from it. You could have priority queue tied into a level. And there's bots now that integrate and give people the roles when they're a Patreon, take the role away when they quit the Patreon. And then using that, you can then add whitelists and all the rest of it. There's so much in it that it's just a great way to do it. And the best part of it is they don't take a lot in fees either. And it's all managed externally. It's a reputable organisation, Patreon. So it's a win-win for all of you.
Okay, I'll definitely have to look at that later.
Yeah, I'll send you a video on it, which it's about a half-hour video, but it explains a lot to you.
Yeah, it was like, spare of the moment. We just threw it together really quick because we were trying to get everything running with taking over the server and stuff. So
I almost spat my coffee out then. I just saw that Spud had translated "fuck you" to Archie for him, just in case he didn't understand when DOJ said it. I love the banter on this show. I love it. So what else have you got? You said merch. What else have you got coming up?
We're gonna do the new server and have Deer Isle on there and have that hive mod on.
Yep.
Where you have to find a ticket throughout the map and go and get transferred over. Eventually, I would like to do another map as well, but we will see how everything goes with it.
Small steps.
Yeah, and then John Likely and I were talking. We're gonna try to add our own merch, but into the game as well, like our own clothing wise.
Yep. Do your own clothing pack?
Yeah. Part of our pack.
See, that's something you could tie in with the Patreon. Pick a tier, set a price that's feasible for you guys for all the work you'd have to do in creating the item and implementing it into the pack. And people who purchase it can have an item, and you set some guidelines around, nothing that's offensive, nothing that would breach terms of service, yada, yada, yada. But that could be something you tie into Patreon. If you want to have an exclusive item in-game that you can find, pick this tier. Let us know what your idea is. Do you have an image? They might want a faction shirt or something like that. It's a way of, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a smart
idea. It definitely
does.
It's a very good way to get not only people interested in the community, but people who are already in your community to feel extra appreciated, so to speak, especially if that you allow them to, or they allow you to sell merch based on logos they create, as long as obviously it doesn't break any copyright laws and shit like that. But it's still really cool. That's really, really nice. It's a good idea. It's a really good way to support the server, especially server costs and whatnot. So not bad at all.
Yep. And it's ongoing. It enables you to plan ahead, and it's just a smart way for a lot of people to look at ways to support what they do, their hobby, their passion, their server, their modding career, everything. So how have the community been taken to Chernarus Has Fallen? What's your community like, mate?
Our community, pretty good. Beforehand, people were complaining about, people being toxic in the Discord, but I'm nipping that in the butt as soon as I see it. I'm gonna stop it right on the spot. We got quite a few new people joining the Discord recently. I've been really excited to try to reach out a little bit more to people. I encourage people to stream it. If I see someone streaming it I will go and post it in our live section on Chernarus Has Fallen. We do it as much as we can for the community. We try to push out more people and getting them more views and stuff. And like if you come to our channel, our Discord, and you say you're live, and I'll even jump on your stream, I'll chat with you, I'll give you a follow, I'll hang out as much as I can, give people tips. There's some stuff that people don't even know that you can make on the server yet.
Yeah, you've got Hell's survival mod, don't you?
Yeah.
And that is, it's a great mod, but when people don't know what it is, yeah, there's so much they're missing out on, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. And like we got the ammo making mod, we got the leather making mod on there. Yeah.
I like that leather making mod. I do. It just seems more realistic than sticking it in a barrel and putting fucking fertilizer on it, or now just pouring fertilizer onto it.
Right. We used to have missions on the server, but that was like a little buggy. I guess a couple of them broke. So what I am going to be testing on our testing server is the treasure mod, where you'll find a picture and you have to left click to open it up, and it'll give you a description, and it'll kind of lead you toward where the treasure is. And we're going to have it where if you go find a treasure, it's going to have one of the pieces or two pieces of how to make the ammo, or like, stuff like that. The stuff that you need to have to do the extra lore stuff that's in the server. I'm currently posting in I made our own event channel, and I've been doing events for the guys to keep them interacting with the server. So like first one, I took a screenshot of me at Gorka Police Department posting a note, and then I literally had that person, I think there was two guys that did it together. They had to go like across the map to find the other note that I hid in a building. And it was one of our new locations that we added to the server. And then I had them go down to another spot and unbury the treasure. And like the one that I have going on now, it's a riddle. So like I have it hidden in the building. I think the guys already found it, but I had it hidden in the building. So like it was in one of those market stalls. I literally had it in I had it in one of the underneath the register there, and like one of the cabinets there, drawers. And I had it hidden on the shelf, and like it gave them like a hint, like, something with like you got to be proud of being in Chernarus, and it would bring them to a certain location, and then I had like another riddle to bring them to another location to find this stuff. So like I'm trying to bring people together to help each other, to work with each other.
That's really cool. So correct me if I'm wrong, you're doing all this yourself. You're not actually implementing a mod or anything like that that does this automatically. You're actually
doing this manually.
Yeah. Doing it all manually, writing it on a piece of paper, placing it down, trying to get people to go find the stuff to have fun.
So that's an actually really cool, interesting idea, because I know there's mods out there that automatically like they'll create a kind of like a little mini event that you have to go to find somebody or do something, and you get the reward. But to actually go out of your way to create these kind of like puzzles, these little events that make your players go from one place to the other around the map, is really, really cool. I really like that, actually. And I was just looking.
I'll go for it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I was going to say as well, because I just checked on the DayZ SA launcher, and your max pop is only 20. And I was just wondering, is there any point that that's going to increase over time, or is it just going to stay 20?
It's going to increase eventually when we get more people playing on it. I didn't want to put it too high and pull a lot of costs out of my own pocket for it until we get that higher pop. When we get that higher pop, I will make it higher. If we can get a steady like 20 people playing, I'll put it up to 40.
See, but you're caught between a rock and a hard place. A lot of people will look and see 20 and they'll go, oh, only 20 players. The chance of meeting someone's going to be very, very slim then. The sweet spot is generally around about 40 is my advice. So I think I remember saying that to Costa when he was still running it as well. I was like, yeah, at 20, like Spud saying, the chicken and the egg. If you don't have a high pop, people will just not look at it, but it costs more to have the higher pop. So you're caught between a rock and a hard place, mate.
Yeah, but then also with our kind of idea with Chernarus has fallen, we kind of want it to be where it's spread out and you kind of feel that little loneliness. So then you try to reach out. Eventually, I'm going to try to make one of my areas I want to make on Chernarus has fallen is a community area. So people can come and chat and hopefully not kill each other and make it where, you can do the trades and just hang out and,
I'm going to give you one name. I'm going to give you one name of a person that you need to reach out to because a lot of what you are doing, I know a server that has done and has learnt a lot from, and that's Spud from DayZ Down Under. Have a chat with him about how he's done. He's had community places. He had a big UN camp, and he can let you know the issues you may face with it. And this was back when DayZ Down Under was more hardcore than it is now. It's still hardcore, but it was a lot more hardcore before. So have a chat with him, and he might have some good advice for you on things you could try, issues you may face, and all the rest of it.
Okay, sounds good.
He's in chat. He's in chat right now. If you want to send him a whisper, if you've got the Twitch stream open, just Spud. But yeah, he runs a really successful community here in Australia, and a lot of the ideas you've got, he's faced himself and knows well aware the issues you'll face and might be able to save you some heartache down the line.
Okay, sounds good.
Now, we had a question in chat about what your style of server is. Is it more PvP KOS? Is it more PvE, survival focused? I know, but I'll let you explain what the server is like.
So, I've been playing on the server. Even though I'm the owner now, I still play on it like almost daily. And I have ran into maybe max like 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
So the one guy I had to kill because he was shooting at my friend and hit him with a knife and made him bleed and stuff. But it's all up to you. Really, if you want to RP it out, you want to chat with each other before you shoot each other or stick someone up, have at it. You want to shoot each other? Have at it. I'm okay with any way of this, the style you want to play. I'm not going to tell someone, you have to role play it out. You have to tell them put their hands up, because we'll have a random person find a server and be like, no, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to shoot them. So it's however you want to play it. If you come across me and you sit there, start chatting with me, I'll have a full blown conversation with you on the game. I'm perfectly fine with it. So like before I started playing on Chernarus Has Fallen, I was playing on a roleplay server for about 8 months straight. So like I kind of want to still bring the roleplay to it. So we don't run around like, I got a better gun than you, pow pow, you're dead, haha. I want to hey, do you have nails? I got 5.56. You want to trade? I would like the way to have it where the teams actually chat with each other.
Mhm.
And that's the whole point of me trying to get to like a little community area going. So then people can actually come and chat and hang out. But again, like we've been saying, it's pretty hardcore. You have to
Yeah.
it's a struggle to survive. So like I literally I watch the logs daily, watching people die and trying to figure out, hey, do I need to make it a little harder? Do I need to make it easier? And like, if people can give me their feedback on how they feel about the server, I'll try to make it where it's still doable, but not too easy because it's
Yeah.
supposed to be a survival.
Well, one question I do have for you is, what do players spawn with when they first start?
It's all random, really. Be honest, I haven't been able to spawn in with the regular stuff because I have been a Patreon since I've been playing on there. And when you become the Patreon at a certain level, you can have your own set gear. So I start with a knife, rags, and a water bottle. And like a set clothing that I had. So I don't remember, but I think there was like one that you start with a pipe and a thing of food. So it's like it's bare minimum, but we're gonna probably do a little different because people are saying that you get slap infection,
Mhm.
and that's when the zombies come up, they hit you, and you get a chance to get the wound infection. So
Yes.
we're kind of thinking maybe we can do like give people like a fourth of the alcohol tinctures. That's in like a discussion right now to try to help people get out of the areas. Unlike other Chernarus servers, you start in the north and you work your way
Mhm.
down south. So it's going to be a lot harder because you'll be seeing random bears, random wolves, like as soon
Yes.
as you start. So
Now, I want
yeah.
to. You go.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say, yeah, because when Cost was running the server, well, owning the server, I should say, I tried it, and the wound infection for when you would just get hit, you wouldn't get any bleeds or anything like that, and it was a very, I wouldn't, well, it was annoying. It was annoying to deal with. Because obviously the way that the loot economy is for the server, but at the same time, it's a hardcore survival server. You've really got to be careful about how you approach it. And if you get sick, then there you go. But at the same time, there's got to be some kind of way for new spawns to kind of like get, I wouldn't say it, well, how would I say it? It's like that extra support, so to speak, like not full bandages and a full tincture, but just some rags and some alcohol, like a quarter alcohol tincture, like you said, that would really probably help people come across and get that sorted out, or just something, and get people out from the north down to south. I think that would be a really, really good approach for you guys to do. But that's like the only criticisms I have for the server. I absolutely love it. I love the feel. I love how everything was done when I last played it. I absolutely loved how you guys replaced the grass with like the really tall like weeds kind of stuff. I thought that was a good touch. Really, really nice touch. So keep it up, I say. But definitely do try and find that good balance between what you are envisioning for the server in terms of its hardcore aspect, while also trying to, I won't say make it easy, but give players a little bit more of a chance in accordance with your vision, if you know what I mean.
yeah. The reason why that Costa and John likely they started off with the high grass because it's 12 years after the outbreak.
Yeah.
So it's overgrown because there's not many normal humans out there trying to actually keep down the weeds and stuff. So
Yeah, I don't imagine like somebody like going with a lawnmower, like mowing down all the bloody fields in Chernarus. That's just no. It's a really nice touch.
Someone wants to make a mod of that, I'll put it on there so then someone can actually go around mowing.
I actually remember when modding first came out for DayZ Standalone that somebody actually made like a tall grass mod where they just like stretched the height of the grass. I wonder if it's still there. Actually, I remember that. Is it more grass? I don't know. Yeah, I think it might have been more grass. Not too sure. That was done by, oh my god, Shorzy or something? I can't remember. But yeah, it was really, really fucking cool.
Yeah, like Archie said, we do have the nature overhaul mod.
Yes.
So that's the one. And,
yeah, nature
you know,
overhaul, right? Yeah, good mod.
And like I said earlier, John Likely, he works really hard on the server and like making the mods and stuff work right. And also making custom areas. So like we have areas that you'll play on our server and you'll be like, oh, this is neat. I don't remember this being on Chernarus. It's our custom areas.
Yeah.
And then we're making more. And then Deer Isle, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make our own custom areas in Deer Isle as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
like when we start working on the Deer Isle server, that's going to be my baby. I'm going to work really hard making custom areas because I love Deer Isle. I can't get enough of it.
Now, I've got a question for you. I remember when I signed up for the Patreon as well, and Costa asked me for my GUID and sent me this thing saying I'm going to get all this gear. And I ended up saying to him, please don't give it to me. It kind of, like, especially things like the water bottle, things like the knife in particular. I think I was at a tier where I got a backpack and hunting clothes and all the rest of it. And I just said to him, no, because I want to find this stuff in game. I want to challenge myself to prove that I'm good enough to play on the server. I think it's kind of contradictory to create this hardcore server, but allow people to buy an easier start on it. That's just my thoughts on it. Plus, there's also the issue. Now, I just sent you a link. Have you guys applied for monetization with Bohemia?
I have no idea if John looked into that yet.
You need to look into that ASAP because you are basically giving people an advantage. You need to have an application in with Bohemia Interactive for monetization of your server. Otherwise, your server could be shut down. So you need to look into that ASAP, mate.
Will do.
Yeah, I've sent you a link. And get onto that ASAP because I just did a quick look through it and I couldn't see Chernarus has fallen on there. And again, any decent server admin like Spud or someone like that would be more than happy to talk you through what you need to do for that. It can be a little bit daunting, like most things are, but Bohemia are quite strict on their monetization rules for servers.
No, I mean with monetization rules, as Spud says, like that even with being a monetized server, you can't do that. You can't have pay to win.
Yeah.
At all. So since it's not like Arma 2 what it used to be, you can't pay any money to get any in-game advantage like that. Maybe possibly like cosmetic items, like different maybe different code stuff, but even then like if you pay a server owner like $50 and then they were like, oh yeah, here's a plate carry with pouches and shit like that, that's a no-go.
Well, see, when how we do it is when you start off, you just have, like you said, you want like a hunter jacket, 100 pants, that's it. Like, you don't start off with a massive amount of stuff. Like
Bohemia are very funny, mate. Bohemia can be very, very funny on this topic. Basically, if anyone is getting an advantage over someone else, they view that as pay to win.
Okay, I'll definitely look into it. But
yeah,
Yeah, it's best. I mean, it's very good to do a little bit of research into how the monetization rules apply for DayZ. What you can do, what you can't do. And if you ever struggle, talk to other server owners, and heck, even send an email to Bohemia themselves. Be like, look, we're in the process to try and get monetized, because you have to have a certain requirement. I think it's like a certain amount of players, a website, stuff like that, and just ask them like the actual like full list of what you can and you can't do under a monetized server. The more research, the better, so you don't get bit in the arse later on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I didn't even think about it.
But a lot of people don't, mate. A lot of people don't. And it's not through any malice or anything like that. It's just it's just the way that BI is. Like Spud said in chat there, they've even said an advantage of a better camo is no. So they're really, really strict on what you give people who are paying to support the server. Yeah. I know Keegan had the Devil's Own time with his Battle Royale mod with some of the perks that he wanted to do for that for people who were supporters.
Okay.
Yeah, so somebody just sent us a DM in regards to this. And it says, and I quote, charging players to access your server if the fees and associated perks do not affect gameplay in any way is allowed. Limiting access to only paying servers is allowed. Paying player. Fuck me, I am tired. Servers with access limited to paying players must be on a different hive or have rules and settings identical to the freely accessible servers. Product placement, in-game advertising, and sponsorship is allowed. Accepting donations is allowed, but to avoid any doubts, not providing donations must not prevent anyone from accessing the content. Selling of in-game items that don't affect gameplay and selling of cosmetic perks are allowed. Applicable only to servers with mods. After modding support has been added to DayZ, you can tell that this is already old. Please remember that these rules do not apply to public hive servers or the DayZ mod. So there you go. That's what it says.
We've just given you a bit of a headache, I know, mate, and I apologise for that.
I'm giving myself a fucking headache reading that shit.
But it's not that hard. It's a little bit daunting at first, but like I said, there's plenty of people out there, and even BI themselves are really good about it. If you go to them and just say, look, this is the situation, I've just been made aware of it. What do we need to, is this fine, is it not? They'll come back and they'll let you know. And like Scarlet Peter said, once it's done. You don't need to worry about it again. I know that the stuff on the website, they've extended it. They finally extended it. This permission is given for a limited time. It will expire on January 31st, 2022. So, yeah, I'm unsure if any changes were made, but it doesn't appear to. Someone who's more familiar with it might have noticed, but yeah. And they do send out cease and desist letters. I know server owners who've had them before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll definitely look into this as soon as we're done.
Yeah.
And try to figure something to get us approved for it and stuff.
Yeah. It's pretty easy, mate. It is pretty easy. Yeah. Plenty of people out there who'll help you with it as well.
If you want, mate, I know we're already what are you fucking doing there, mate? But if you want, I can send you a DM with the FAQ.
Yeah, go ahead.
For the monetization. I'll have to add you to phone first.
I
keep forgetting I've got
server better.
I've got it.
Yeah,
I'll send it to him.
There you go. I've already done it.
Same time as me.
Yeah. But yeah, best go through that just in your own time. And there you go. And obviously, you got any questions, just let people know Bohemia or other server owners that are good friends of yours, whatever. More information, the better.
Sounds good. Yeah, like we have the one mod, it's a rad zone.
Mhm.
So like you can make like a random area to be toxic. So you have to look for all the NDC or whatever NBC the gear, and you go in there and you have to fight off wolves and bears on top of the zombies. And one of the guys sat there and posted a picture, and I think it was in our feedback spot. He killed 18 wolves in a house,
Hmm.
and he goes, "There's still more." And I did it all with melee weapon. I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know about this." So I went and looked at it, and I turned that down so much. I'm hoping, like, I still haven't even gone into the radiation zones because I keep on restarting to show people, like, this is how you do it to survive,
Yep.
to, try to help them to understand it. And it's just like I haven't gotten a chance to get all that stuff. And when I used to play it before I took over, I had there was a group of 4 of us, and someone actually watched one of our streams and found out where our base was and came raided us and took our car, took all of our stuff. So like I had a full outfit ready to go
Yeah.
into the toxic zone, and then they came and raided us and took all of our stuff. So it was like, no, I want to see what's in there. So like the other day, including I haven't had a chance to get in there, I just went. I was like, you know what? I'm admin. Teleport right in, and I was just like running around with God mode on, just like quickly looking at the stuff. I didn't even look in the buildings, just ran past because they did add more stuff there. So
Right.
it's like it's a definitely spot that people should work their way to getting. But with the Rad Zone mod, is you have 3 boxes, like 3 special crates that spawn in an area in the radiation zone. And if you have like the wolves set to 7, each um each wolf each box will have 7 wolves. So if there's 3, that's 21. So yeah,
You
so I
evil
had to turn it down.
bastards.
I didn't know about it. I just took everything that Costageo said, here,
Yeah.
this is all of our info. I transferred it over. I didn't know about it. And when the guy told me, I sat there and I took like 2 days straight, just me even doing it on stream, going over there, putting guide mode on, walking around the area. And I was on the road south of the Northeast airfield, and I had 16 wolves just staring me down, barking at me. And I'm like, oh, snap, I'm going to get my butt chewed on. And I was like, okay, well, let's just sit here, wait for more. And I think it was like end up being like 20 wolves at one point. And
Yep.
I sat there, I was like, okay, turn off God mode. And 1 second later, I was dead. Like they just all jumped me at once. It was funny as can be. I'm like, this is awesome.
So,
But like,
well, one of the eternal problems for hardcore PvE focused servers is how to make the end game. It's easy to make the start game difficult, just by scarcity of items and that. But once a person's got a bit of a bladed weapon of some sort, a knife or an axe or something like that, and maybe a box of matches. And just some basic gear, maybe a gun that shoots, it becomes a lot easier to survive. What are you guys doing to keep that difficulty for more established players?
can you repeat that once more?
What are you guys doing to keep it difficult for more established players on the server?
Well, it's just like, like I was just saying with the toxic zones. So you literally have to work your hardest to make make a base, and then keep that going, to find all the parts to the radiation zones. So like we have the northeast, northwest, and I believe Tissy all in toxic zones. So like the best gear is hidden away.
Mm-hmm.
And like I still haven't even seen everything. Like last night I was sitting there going over stuff with John Likely, and he goes, "Have you seen this?" No. Where's that? And he goes, "I think it's over here." Like he actually showed me something new. And I've been playing on the server I want to say about 3 or so months straight. So it's pretty crazy. Like you
That
get
is
to
pretty
still
cool.
see new things.
Mhm.
And we're still trying to figure more things to add to make it where people want to come back and check it out. Like we have a guy, he comes and goes quite often, but when he comes back just to try to figure out how to make the ammo or foraging. So it's like you have extra stuff than just like, hey, I'm just going to survive and be done with it. You actually can figure out how to make ammo. You can figure out how
I love that there's a guide in the game now for that as well. Because I love what Dump Grower achieved, but probably one of the biggest bits of feedback I had from him was it's very complicated, and if people don't have a basic understanding of metallurgy, and I would say that Dump Grower's probably got an intermediate level of metallurgy compared to the average person, probably an advanced level. It's complicated. It's very complicated, especially when you've got the metallurgy and forging mod as well. So you have to mine a lot of the resources you need. Without some sort of guide in the game, a book you can find, it's nigh on impossible to understand what needs to be done.
Yeah, too right. I remember when I was testing the metallurgy mod and the ammo making mod way back when. Don was telling us all sorts of stuff when he used to do the blacksmithing and the metallurgy, everything like that. He's actually done it. And it was really, really cool, the stuff he was telling us. It completely blew my mind. And if you ask us, oh, what does this do? I'd be like, oh, I don't fucking know, just ask Tom. So it's always really cool that there is some kind of guide for players who have literally zero knowledge on those methods.
Yeah.
They actually have a chance at that kind of like playing field, which is really good. And I think that more servers with or more mods with really complicated mechanics like that, where a typical player would have no knowledge on, there should be some kind of guide, definitely.
I think Hell needs to look at it for Hell Survival. I doubt he ever would. He's a very savage man. He likes to make people hurt. He loves hardcore. But I think, even something you spawned with, maybe an idiot's guide to survival, which just had the pictures of, it doesn't make it really any easier. It just makes it more likely that people will use his mod.
Mm-hmm.
And as Scalespeeder said in chat, YouTube video tutorials. We need to get more modders doing YouTube video tutorials. What were you going to say there, Churchy?
Dumpgrim, he has actually a book for which one was it? The forging.
Yes.
He actually has a book in the game that you can find, and I'll tell you how to do stuff. So that's another thing that I love about that mod, because you can actually find a book and it tells you, hey, this is how you do this. I still have yet done any of that stuff, but I still love it because it's something new.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish there would be like more people that would come up with ideas like that.
And
or like
there needs to be, I'll say it again, just to hammer the point home, DOJ, YouTube video tutorials. They work wonders, don't they, mate?
Yeah, they do. And I actually thought about making some videos, like some tutorials, like simple modding stuff.
Yep.
To set up your modding environment, but I might consider it at some point.
It's great. A picture paints 1,000 words. A video is a war and peace.
It is, man.
It is. Anything else?
Especially when...
Sorry?
Oh, sorry. No, like I was going to say, especially when like Bohemia's documentations are like 10 years old,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
easy.
George, yeah.
Anything else we need to know about Chernarus has fallen, Churchy?
Not really. I mean, it's just like, if you like hardcore survival, definitely give it a go. I mean,
Mhm.
when I first started on DayZ, my buddy the Dale Plays, he
Yep.
bought me DayZ. I didn't even buy it, and now DayZ is my #1 played game on Steam. And he started me off on his server, and I ended up buying it for my girlfriend, and she plays it with me. And you couldn't find any gear. He had it where the loot economy was so low, you couldn't find anything to survive. So he sat there and he goes, "You need to check out this server, including I know you like hardcore survival," and showed me Chernarus Has Fallen. And it's like, oh my God, this is what I was trained for when I first started DayZ. Playing on those servers with a high loot, you feel
Yeah.
spoiled. So it's like, it kind of is one of those type of deals. Like if you want to struggle, you want to, try to find a way to survive against the weather, um, like stuff like that, definitely give it a look because, it turned my life completely around. Like there's one point you literally you have a hydration, um, not hydration, hygiene. Sorry, there you go,
Mhm.
hygiene. You literally have to go to water and wash yourself. You
Yeah.
go to Novo's water, the well. You have a
Mhm.
chance to not having any water in it.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a hit and miss on like where you can find.
That was actually quite a good idea. I remember when I went to my first well, I was like, is it bugged? And then I checked the Discord, and someone had asked the question, and wells have a random chance of actually having water in them or being completely dry. And I was like, you bastards, that's good. I'll pay that.
And I think when we do the Deer Isle server, I think I'm gonna have it a little bit more because like a lot more of the wells being less because haven't been empty because the fact that there's wells everywhere on Deer Isle. So I think I'm
Mhm.
gonna bring that up a little bit more because it's hard. I want to make it hard for you. So when we do the Deer Isle server and we have the hive mod in there, you're gonna start on Chernarus, and then um you can go over to Deer Isle. But if you die in Deer Isle, you have to start back in Chernarus. So like we're gonna definitely push that too, because like that's my main goal. I was gonna make it a
Yeah.
separate thing, and then I was told about the hive mod, and I'm like in love with it now. It's like, yes, that's definitely what we need because it'll help with the lore and everything that we can do with it.
Yeah.
Excited to see what you come up with, mate.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, once we get everything working with our mod stuff, I'm gonna start working pretty heavily on Deer Isle. So I'm gonna try to push it really hard to get it out soon as we can for people to play around on there. Um,
Mhm.
we do have a ticket system on our Discord where if you drop drop an item in a bush and it's one of the prop bushes and you can't get it, put a ticket in. I'll come straight to you and be like, here you go, here's a new item. Like I will help you as long as you have screenshots. I will help
Yes.
you as much as I can with that. If you find something like a bug or something and you don't want to have like a full blown conversation with the whole Discord, put a ticket in. I'll answer it. My admin team will all respond to it. We'll figure something out to help you out.
Yep.
But Costageo, he gave me a statement. If it's possible, I would like to read it for him.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Go for it.
So he said, I'd firstly like to say that I received an overwhelming amount of support when I decided to jack it all in. There are some amazing people in a DayZ community, and I'll be forever grateful. So again, thank you. The reasons behind me leaving it all behind are simple. My family need me, and my love for the game is gone. Chernarus has fallen was always an idea I had in my head, but didn't have the knowledge to be able to do it until one day Sir Dab released the DayZ editor. And he put in parentheses, legend. I went through a rough time mentally, but DayZ and learning the ins and outs kept me going. And there are so many people I'd like to thank for helping me along the way. Jinsler for giving me a push to do CHF. John Likely for his amazing imagination with building the vision I had. Dumgram for putting up with me, asking so many questions, and Durath for always being there as a mentor in mods and Clouds. He put in parentheses again. He loves Clouds. This list goes on.
Who doesn't?
And this list goes on, and for the many to mention, but I'm proud to call you all my friends. Churchy, I have been watching you and the guys carry on CHF, and you, my man, are doing it proud. I'm forever grateful to you all for carrying it on, and I know the CHF community are also. Keep it up, and I look forward to seeing where it goes from here on out.
Awesome. And I hope to maybe one day run into him on the server as well.
I'm hoping so too. And when we get the whole Deer Isle going with it and have that mod, I'm gonna help him out as much as I can so he can feel the experience of transferring from one server to the other. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be keeping Chernarus Has Fallen. This Chernarus Has Fallen would have never been a thing, you know? It's he's a legend. I love him. As much as I can say this, I love him as a man, and I treat him like a brother. So like I literally sit there and I'll be like, hey, like I'll nudge him like, hey, I need this, or hey, you have any ideas for this? Like I don't try to pull him fully back in because I know he doesn't want to do too much, but I'm trying to keep his idea going and adding a little extra to it so it doesn't change.
Yep.
But yeah,
No,
if it wasn't
kudos,
for
mate.
him, if it wasn't for him, I probably would have stepped away from DayZ, to be honest. So
Bless.
sticking with it.
Well, yeah, and that's it. Like, you know, it's you got to do it, and I really do hope that Chernarus Has Fallen continues to grow, continues to get better, and you guys really start to get some really cool, well, more cool stuff and more unique stuff added into the server. You definitely got a good thing going, I should say. And, you know, props to you, props to everyone, props to Cost. Trying so hard keeping the server going, and at the end of the day, real life comes first. So if you're watching, mate,
Exactly.
which I think you are, props to you, man.
Well, I have to say, from this day on, I'm going to try to make the server last at least another year.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Well, we'll at least have it for another year. It'll probably come around for a lot longer. Unless they come out with DayZ 2, which I don't know.
Fucking big doubt there, but you never know. Stranger things have happened.
Now, we put a video up last week, a topic we talked about on the podcast last week, about Septic Falcon, Sada Plays poll. What is better, Arma 2 or DayZ mod? And we got a lot of feedback on the video. And it actually got me thinking about it. And one thing I do want to say is I think the hype around Arma 2 mod was bigger than what DayZ Standalone has now. The initial hype for DayZ Standalone was massive. You know, what they sold 2 million copies or something for launch. So people were interested, but it wasn't ready. it shouldn't have been released when it was DOJ. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it shouldn't have been released. It was like too soon,
Yeah.
I think, but I'm not sure. Like, it's only assumptions, but I think they released the game in such a bad state because they had to release the game on console. And because, like, on console, you have to actually have a finished game. They don't allow alphas, like,
Yeah.
how do you say, early access? And yeah, like, I think that's the reason why they pushed the game in such a bad state back then.
So that they could get
right now,
started.
I think it's much better now.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, a lot of the feedback, one bit of feedback I did take on board was 15-minute video of people who've never played the mod telling mod players it's just nostalgia that makes them feel as better. Now, the mod is genuinely better. Yes, it is just as broken, if not more broken, than the standalone is currently, but it's also far more enjoyable, balanced, and feature-rich. All this talk of the tech in standalone being better, yet the game still lacks bikes, bows, or aerial vehicles, let alone having proper working cars. Simply put, both the DayZ mod and the standalone look pretty bad by today's standards, but when you take into consideration what the mod was working with and what it had during its heyday and compare it to what standalone is right now in 2021 without mods, there is no discussion to be had. The DayZ mod is better, 110%. Now, I had a bit of a conversation with him when I said, in our defense, we did ask Sada to come on the show, and no doubt we'll revisit this topic again in the future. He said, that's fine. I mean, no hate by any means. To each their own opinion. I just find it to be a moot point for people who openly admit they never even played the mod to claim it's just nostalgia. Even if you were to give it a go right now, it just wouldn't be the same since the community is vastly different. As someone who put dozens of hours into the mod when it was popular and then went back more recently for the sake of nostalgia, I can totally say it's just as good as it was back then, minus some changes made when development was handed over to the community. Granted, it definitely feels dated now, so your mileage may vary, and the community isn't nearly as good now, in my opinion, but I would say the same could be said for standalone. I just said no offense taken, and I do agree that the hype around the mod was only seen in standalone at release, which quickly dissipated as people realised how bad a shape it was in. I still think that the question needs to be more specific, because a lot of our conversations happened with people talking about one of the aspects that they talked about a lot was the role of choppers in DayZ. And there are so many people who are not fans of choppers in DayZ. They work on some servers, but once you've got a chopper, the map is tiny. Mm-hmm. And, then you get that whole argument of, how many people would actually know how to fly a chopper and things like that. It's just, I think the question, when you just say, is X better than Y? No. It needs to be a more specific reason as to why X is better than Y. X is better than Y in this aspect. Because there's aspects of DayZ standalone, lad, that far exceed the mod. But there are aspects of the mod, it was built on a completed game that far outweigh what standalone has.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the DayZ mod was built on, the engine that obviously Arma 2 used, and that was a full, complete engine. It wasn't a mixed match. Well, as far as I'm aware, It wasn't a mixed match of like 3 engines that we use now. But I definitely agree that the question needs to be a lot more specific, because with the Arma 2 DayZ mod, there were so many different styles of gameplay out. You had your normal, like, what we would call vanilla, and then you had, like, your base build, and you had your PvP, and you had all sorts of different stuff splitting up from each other and whatnot. So to classify, is all of this better than this? It's very difficult to answer.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, you can just put a blanket statement saying standalone is better. Technically better, yes. Visually better, definitely. In content, no. Not really. But when you compare those specific parts of all of these things split off and then compare it to standalone, then you can start having a bit more of a valid argument and valid discussion about it, about which part of the mod was better than standalone. Like, is DayZ mod vanilla better than standalone vanilla? No, it's not. Standalone vanilla is better. Was DayZ mod base building servers better than standalone vanilla? Yes, easily. Base building in Standalone is fucking garbage, and you have to have mods to make it better with BBP, Place Anywhere, Expansion Building, and all these other kind of mods. PvP, which is better in the mod or Standalone? That's a difficult one to answer. Technically, Standalone, but which is more satisfying? Fuck knows. Mod/Arma 2 is a lot more clunky. Standalone's very arcadey and very streamlined and smooth. But depending on where you're approaching, mod can be better or Standalone can be better. It's just very, very difficult to answer. And I was just looking at the comments there, and there was quite a few people saying, mod is better, it's not nostalgia and whatnot. And then I read one comment was like, well, if mod was better, where's the player base?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, like let's just face it. Yeah, where is the player base?
DOJ, did you ever play the mod?
Never, and I guess I should at some point. But like I've seen Helkiana and Sumrak play. Like Helkiana never played, and she said, "Yeah, it's not worth it."
Yep,
that's the thing. It's.
I imagine if you played it in the heyday, when it was new and all the rest of it. Like I said, I didn't play it other than a handful of hours, which I mostly spent trying to work out what the fuck I was meant to be doing because I'd never played a game like this before, and we were playing on a piece of shit laptop. But the content from back then, I still remember watching it in utter awe and amazement. It was so fucking awesome. And then Standalone came out. And, part of the reason why I stuck with Standalone is I wanted to have those memories myself. And I had faith that they would eventually get there with Standalone. Some might call me delusional, some might call me a fanboy, but that's just, how I was. But, it was... Churchy, I'm guessing you never played it either, mate.
Kinda.
Oh, you did?
I had
the mod.
Like you said, you had a crappy computer. I had a crappy laptop as well, and I only had, I think it was like max 20 frames on it. So I was like stuttering around the map. So I think I maybe played it tops like 2 hours.
Yep.
So I didn't get full feel of it. I wish I did though.
Yeah, same. But,
yeah, I mean, to be fair, 20 FPS on the mod, that's high spec back then. I mean, Jesus. But like I said in the previous podcast, I never played mod. I tried it quite some time ago, and I couldn't do it. It was just too. I don't want to say crap, because that's just sacrilegious, but it just definitely was not for me. And I wish I could have played it back in, when it was popular, when it really, really started to pick up steam. But the what's the word I'm looking for? When people say that people who hasn't played mod has an opinion on it about which is better, they shouldn't have an opinion. It's just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, at the same time, like we can all do our research and we can all look into copious amounts of videos and whatnot. We can talk to people who play mod, get their feedback, get their knowledge and whatnot, and we can form an opinion without maybe playing it. But then again, that's a bit funky. I just base my opinion on it based on what I hear from people. Like I know a guy who's had like 7,000 hours in the mod.
Jesus.
And this say Standalone's just better in many ways. And people just want to see the features from Epoch. They just want to see that back, and to them that's the true DayZ.
Yeah.
When it's not.
It's not what Dean Hall envisaged, is it, DOJ?
What up?
That Arma milsim approach to DayZ is not what Dean Hall envisaged. I know it's what people modded DayZ into and was very popular, but when they say that it's not DayZ, it's not their version of DayZ. DayZ, Dean Hall had a very specific version, a hardcore zombie survival game.
Yeah, I mean, like actually, I don't even know what the original mod is, because I'm so confused between all like the epoch,
Yes.
all that kind of stuff. So I guess I should try it myself, to give to get an idea of what was the original idea behind DayZ.
We might have to do that. Go back and maybe do it live on the podcast one week. Go back and have a bit of a run around on, have a look and see if there's any maps still up. I'm certain there will be, and just have a bit of a play around on it.
I'm down.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. We'll schedule that in.
And see with what Marx is saying in the chat, is like Dean Hall isn't part of DayZ anymore, so let's change that hardcore idea and make it fun. Fun is subjective. People really like base building aspect. People like the hardcore aspect. People like the PvP aspect. To try and change the whole course of a game into one particular path is not a good idea, which is what happened when Standalone first came out. So, luckily now with the way Standalone is that there's a wide variety of servers out there to cater to what people will find fun. And that's good. And we can only hope that the vanilla aspect of the game, or at least what the developers go for, make whatever feature they bring out next compatible with all play styles. Especially those who just want that purely vanilla aspect. So, yeah, so that's that really.
Yeah. Yep. But it was a good topic and a good video to come back and I'm really enjoying doing these shorts episodes. People just seem to be enjoying the discussions in them. Now, a big update through the week. It was almost the sort of thing that should have been its own title.
Yes.
How fucking good was that? DOJ, do you know, does Sumrak edit these himself or does he outsource?
I'm not sure. I think he does himself, He does it himself.
If he's doing that himself, my God, that man's got more talent in his little toe than I have in my big, entire, ugly fucking body. That is just unbelievable. The choice of the song, it was just, it's beautiful.
Really good, yeah.
Yeah. So, Lantia, what the fuck? I see, again, being such a noob to old school DayZ. What is the deal with Lantia?
Lantia is basically what's on the other side of the anomaly. The anomaly was originally kind of like, I guess you could say, a portal to this other planet, which was getting investigated, like I wouldn't say investigated, but it's lack of a better word, by scientists on Namalsk. And then in the Arma, in the events between the Arma 2 mod and Standalone mod, there was a missile strike to destroy the anomaly. However, the Lantians sought that as a form of like an act of war, like an act of aggression. So they released a toxin or something similar to it on Earth, which is what caused the infection, that all the infected around the world. Now, the way that Sunwreck has got it here is really, really unique, because you look at it and it's got like a different like color, different atmosphere and everything like that. That's still all on the Namalsk map. And it's really, really, really cool how he's done it. My only criticism is that you can't stay there. But you can only stay there for a certain amount of time. You have to get certain items to get there, which is fine. And you can get certain items when you are there. I won't say what they are for because, story related. Don't want to spoil too much. And it's really, really cool. I have not seen it myself yet. In fact, there's a server which I sometimes play on. They are actually hosting an event because you have to go to the ice fields, the ice sheets, to get these items. And they're all having a massive expedition to all go there together to go and get these items to get to Lantia. And it's so fucking cool. It is just, it's so cool.
Have you seen the video I'm watching right now?
Yeah, I'm watching it right now. Yeah, because Sunwreck has been posting for quite some time, like little concept art of what Lantia is supposed to look like. And the question until now is, how is he actually going to make it work and function in Namalsk, in the Namalsk map, and he fucking done it. The only thing is, servers that run this don't use helicopters, don't use boats, because you're gonna end up there. So, but he's done an absolutely wonderful, fantastic job. Like, look at that. Look at that.
And YohnofChernarus is so good at these cinematics.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that. That is gorgeous.
It kind of has a Halo-esque feel for me.
I mean, yeah, it's obviously it's just a completely different planet on the other side of the galaxy / universe, and it's just absolutely wonderful. I'm seeing all this for the first time, so I'm like, I'm in awe right now.
People with this much talent sicken me. What do you think, Churchy?
It's phenomenal. I haven't played the new update yet, but actually playing it when it first came out, where you had to actually put food next to the fire, blew my mind away. It was like, this is amazing. And then, not to step away from the mosque much, but look at John Likely. He did the same thing on Deer Isle, where you cut yourself, you walk on the altar, and you go to the temple. So I would love to see more like this. This is awesome. I can't wait to actually put my feet in Namalsk once again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. I haven't played it in a while, but I'm looking forward to getting back onto Namalsk and checking out what is going on with all of that and just learning about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Namalsk in general, I remember when it first came out for the Standalone, I had a couple of friends. They used to play it on the mod, and they absolutely loved it, and they really liked the way that was approaching. And I mean, with this update, there's one more Namalsk update, like the content update, and then that's it. There's no more. Samrak is he's, I wouldn't say giving it up because that's too harsh, but he's
finished with what his vision was.
Yeah, he's finally achieved it after all this time, and props to him. Absolutely lovely bloke, brilliant.
He is. And don't forget, you can jump into the Namalsk Discord and support him if you enjoy what he does in there. There's a donate link in the Namalsk Discord. MollyMagoo, someone I follow on Twitter. I love some of her tweets. And she put one out. Does anyone know the significance of the date on the at DayZ Beans? We thought it was Dean Hall's birthday, but that's the 14th of May, 1981. Now, if I click on the actual image, established 1982, but there was also something else very interesting up here. Now, you guys probably can't make it out, but how do you open a can of beans in DayZ? You need a can opener, don't you? The instructions on the can: place can on flat surface with tab something towards you, or towards you, and lift tab fully. It's a ring pull can, yet they make you use a fucking can opener.
Did you
Literally unplayable.
That's it. I'm uninstalling all my mods and giving up DayZ, giving up the podcast. Fucking bye, gone.
But I actually wanted to know if there's any other items in the game, and DOJ and Lad, I imagine you guys have probably looked into some of these files and all the rest of it, because look at the description. It says here on the can, Deez Baked Beans. We are very proud of our Deez products, which are made with secret recipes and use the finest ingredients. We're so confident that you will enjoy them. We make you this promise: if you aren't satisfied by this product, we will slit your throat and frame your mother for it.
Fuck me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It got me thinking, what else have they got hidden in little Easter eggs around the game? Little weird Sorry?
All the kinds of food and drinks have Easter eggs on them, I think.
Yep.
Except the peach. It's in Russian, so I'm not sure, but I know, like, for example, the soda cans, there is a phone number on it, and it leads to the Pepsi recruiting website, I think.
Okay.
I'm not kidding.
Wow. That's pretty
Hang
cool.
on, I'm gonna give you what it is exactly.
I like that on the cereal box, that you know how it's got the compass on it.
Yeah.
It says actual product not shown, doesn't always point north. For novelty purposes only. That's neat.
Yeah, Evil Santa in the smokestack. I've seen that one.
That's a classic. That's a classic.
But that actually, you bringing up the cereal box, they need to bring it back. They need to bring back the orienteering compass being found only in the packs of cereal. I was so disappointed when they removed that, because it was some really obscure chance of getting it, like 1 in 100 at least. I remember Diddy was so fucking annoyed. Yeah, he streamed for ages trying to find as many boxes of cereal, and he never found one. Never got to do it. As far as I'm aware, he may have, but my last recollection was he never got to do it. And I remember I found a box of cereal, opened it, and the message came up. You have found a compass, or whatever the little message was that used to, and I was like, Diddy would be so pissed if he knew this. Because he was solely his goal was to find a compass from the cereal, and he just couldn't do it live on stream at least. But little things like that, they need to do more of them, don't they, Churchy?
Oh yeah, I think having little Easter eggs in games is amazing.
Yeah,
I love Easter eggs.
Yep. The more the merrier, DOJ.
What you said?
The
Sorry?
more the merrier.
Oh yeah.
What would you like to add? If you could add an Easter egg to the game, what would you do?
Me? Oh, I don't know.
Are you fucking joking? His Easter egg will be volumetric clouds.
I thought about it.
If the devs ever re-implement that, I know for a fact they're going to be tagging you instantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
They better. I'm waiting for the day I get a DayZ notification. You know, yeah, for like 1.11. I mean 1.21. We added like volumetric clouds. Finally, you know.
It'll be version 4.8 before you get it, mate.
DayZ 2, actually.
Now, speaking of you, sorry, what was that?
Have you guys looked at that mod, the Sky Z?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I use it, yeah.
Where
Amazing.
where actually like the sunsets and the sunrises are like gorgeous. I love it. And that might be one of the mods I might be adding to our server as well.
Nice.
Do it.
You should.
It's such a simple mod, but it is just it's so good. The person who done it spent loads of time trying to get it right with just all aspects of the weather. He's done a good job. Holy shit.
Praise
Now-
him on
It is
that.
amazing.
DOJ, speaking of amazing,
Yeah.
I will say, when I saw this first time, I'd done inappropriate things.
What do you mean?
he batted off. He pleasured himself. He pleasured himself watching this.
I did not need to.
Good old Bash. God, it looked
I'm
good,
just
mate.
Bash.
Tell us what the story is behind you doing this, mate.
Okay, so you know, like I love the old channel, like the 0.62 channel, actually.
Yep.
And what I wanted to do is get it back in the current map. So what I started doing is like going in 6.2 and running a script to scan all the buildings around a certain position. So I could import these buildings into the current map. But the thing is, the old assets had all the names were like in a Czech or Slovak.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna get the old map running on 1.13. And what I had to do is repass every assets of the game by hand. There was like 1,500 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the easiest way of doing it. So that's the idea. Just remaking Cherno, the old Cherno, in the current map.
And like I've said to you, mate, I would love to see you redo the initial first ever DayZ standalone Cherno. The basically as it was from Arma 2 mod, as I understand it, with below the tents, with the old I forgot to check. Is the Northeast Airfield still the old one, or is it the new version in 0.62?
Not sure.
I think it got updated relatively early in the lifespan.
Same, yeah.
But yeah, if you did that, I guarantee you would have people fucking that would become a massively popular server. People being able to play the original OG Chernarus map with the old Northeast Airfield, with below the tents. Maybe set up all the spawns so that they're all on the eastern coast. None down around Electro and Cherno, because you got to work your way across. Because below the tents was fucking massive. People forget how big below the tents was. And yeah, that would be just amazing. But the big question is, what do DayZ and BI think of this?
No idea. And I know they are probably watching, so can I publish it publicly, please? Because I mean,
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
No, go for it.
I was going to say, yeah, because if you were doing it that way, because I initially thought you were just going in with the DayZ editor, looking at reference images and just doing it by hand and just whatever. But the way that you described it there, that could possess quite a bit of a legal issue, wouldn't it? I suppose because there's issues of like porting the old map into the new version because of all that kind of shit. So, devs, legal team, let them do it, please.
I mean, the thing is, like, I ported the old map on the current version, but it's not supposed to be the final product. That's just so I can scan the buildings and get the new names, because otherwise it's not going to work.
So how can people play this themselves?
Well,
Can't,
can't, I guess, unless I release it publicly.
Yep. And for that, you'll need permission from BI.
I guess so, yeah.
So we need to come up with a really cool hashtag, or maybe we should do a change.org petition because they work, don't they?
Oh, boy.
Burn. But yeah, no, I can't see the harm in it. It's just good. It's just good fun, just being able to go back, and I love the vision that they've come up with. But I kind of agree with Yon, what he's saying in chat. So many areas of Chernarus that weren't broke, but they still fixed them. I love the revamp of the Western Corridor. I think that's beautiful. I love going up there. The barren tree where all the trees are chopped down or burnt down or whatever, and the hunting camp and the river that runs along there. Probably a creek to the dam is probably more suitable description of it. But yeah, I would love to see it, and I would love to see the OG map as well. Yeah, I think I've said before that would be an easy DLC for them to release as a freebie, just to spice things up a bit. OG DayZ Chernarus map.
I agree.
And if they're not going to do it, let DOJ do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Please.
I mean, I would say so. I mean, to be fair, like when it comes down to it, there's still a desire from quite a bit of the community to play in the old map with the current engine, how everything is right now. So if the legal team in the devs can actually come together with you to be like, okay, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do, and try and even work with you and other modders and that to bring it as some kind of DLC or just something, maybe the first form of content creator modding.
Sorry, I have to interrupt you. I just saw the comment from Marks in chat, and I clicked on it because I was going to basically type exactly what Anarchy typed to Marks. You might bash into stuff or my comment was going to be, we might have to bash it into you then. And yeah, I fucking love that. I love that. So you got some really good comments on this video, mate.
Yeah, I read some of them, so some were pretty good.
Yeah.
Some people seems to be hyped about it. So that's I'm glad to hear.
Yeah, because I bloody sent you one, he never responded, and I was upset.
Did I not respond to it?
No.
He was too busy laying in his bed, pleasuring himself, thinking about volumetric clouds.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was interested in how you did it, for the Cherno one. Because 0.62 Chernarus was just, it was so good.
That's the reason why.
Oh mate, don't tease me.
I hope the quality is not too bad.
No, it's good. It's really clear.
But yeah, this is so nostalgic seeing this, Yeah, I mean that's the reason why. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, sorry for keep interrupting you, but it's so weird seeing it from up above.
Yeah.
Seeing it from this angle. Yeah. It's dude.
And yeah, I got super far render distance, so you can see the entire map.
Wow.
But yeah, like it feels so weird. Like I don't know if you can have that feeling when watching, but just
No, you
playing
definitely can.
in that place in 113 is so weird. It feels wrong.
It does
So
feel
many
wrong,
memories
but
at
it
this
feels so
northeast
right.
airfield. Sorry, northwest airfield.
Oh, man. I was gonna say I remember when I used to play on DayZ RP all the time back in like 2016, 2017. Like seeing all this now in the current engine, it's just it's weird. It's a weird sense of nostalgia.
But yeah, I think it's not showing on the stream. I'm not sure. Is it?
No, it should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I was watching your Discord stream. But yeah, and this is the reason why.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Lad. Yes. Yeah, because this was like, what, the second or third iteration of Cherno, wasn't it?
Yeah, and what I find weird is like they only kept this Chernarus for like 1 or 2 versions.
Yeah, I mean, there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. It was great the way it was. I mean
it's amazing because people come here and some will go here like to fight, snipe. But they're all gonna go here to get like containers and some loot, military stuff.
Dumpgrad just said
There's
in
a
chat,
few,
I love this, but isn't this the same kind of want desire the Arma 2 people have for DayZ currently? Let's say Arma 2 is better. I see your point, but I disagree because this is having the best of the old with the new, with all of DayZ's mechanics, but the old maps. I think this is different, me personally.
Yeah, because I mean, when it comes to like the discussion with Arma 2
below
DayZ, we're talking about in terms of like mechanics and in functionality, not in terms of map. Like, because the Arma 2 mod is just, you can just play that.
Can you go down the end? Are the barracks buildings still there?
Yep, they are.
No, they were destroyed by now. Okay. Because I remember in the very early version that those buildings were actually still up, and there was a few barracks here, and then the across the road was where below the tents was as well. Bring back below the tents. # bring back below the tents.
I was going to say, I remember back in 0.59.
Yeah.
Back in 0.59, there was a little, like a whole bunch of tents in those hangars on this one server, and we accidentally found it. We looted it. We raided the fucking thing. Got so much loot, armor, weapons, everything like that. And then we fucked off to other servers and we just started killing people. And every time we'd die, we'd come back here and loot up and go back. And eventually, the tents were gone, and we were so upset. Oh, that was the first time, well, one of the first few months I played 5.9. That was great.
But Northwest Airfield, the changes made to it are great. But can you go back to the Northwest Airfield?
Yep.
Now, for me, I've got a personal sentimental attachment to the Northwest Airfield because this is where we played the first ever Aussies versus Poms Ashes series. And if you haven't seen them, they're on my YouTube channel. They were fucking awesome. Blue Waffle and the UK Alliance guys versus Aussie convicts and a few from Pipsy and just a bunch of Aussies. And we had a big, massive battle here. And it was so fucking epic. The layout of the airfield, people used to go and sit up on the sniper hill on the southern end in the trees there. Right here, and snipe down onto the rest of the airfield, and you'd have people in the other tree line. I can't remember what we used to call it, the little spit down there. No, down lower, near the shed down the end there on the left.
This?
Nope, to the right a bit. To the left, yep, down the end. No, yep, to the right a bit. There's those sheds. Yep, see those sheds down the end there? There was that little spit of trees there. And people would sit in there and they would snipe into the tents there. It just was fucking awesome. Absolutely fucking awesome.
That was a great spot.
It was such a, oh.
Those tents though.
But I even missed the old school tent structure that they had, where they were all neatly in a row. Was just it was so many evolutions of the map, so many evolutions.
I can definitely understand why they wanted to change it though. With a new version of DayZ coming out, they wanted something like the major locations really new. But can you go to what's it called again? Mishkino tents.
Sure. Mishkino tents are actually
they're not there.
The same as today.
Sorry, Mishkino tents are, but they're not the old Death Valley.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yes,
and that's why I've said
they changed it in a
why
0.60, I think.
He needs to go back and do some of the other versions, because Mishkino tents, I never fucking went there because I suck at sniping. I suck at PvP, and Mishkino was a fucking death wish. I used to go and just stand up in the hills near it, look down into it, and go, "There's loot down there," but I'm too scared to go get it because I know there's some motherfucker with a bloody Mosin or a Blaze with a fucking hunting scope waiting to fucking take me out the minute I set foot fucking out of the tree line.
And to answer your question marks in chat, there's a bit of legal issues in terms of this, so it would really depend if the legal team would allow him to. So we'll have to wait and see on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Scotty, I guess, for permission or to ask if it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but even the first goal was just to import this channel, so get the building position to the new map. But
can you go to Electro?
Electro, sure.
See, that's the thing. Electro's not really changed through the years. I mean,
I know it was very different at the beginning. Very, very different. It was tiny.
It's just
it was tiny compared to.
I mean, I remember it when I used to play. Well, when I gave Arma 2 base game a go, when having a look at the Electro there, and I was like, "Fucking hell, this is tiny." But for all the time I've played DayZ from 0.59, it's not really changed too much, I would imagine. From if my memory serves me correctly.
Oh, the church on the hill.
Yeah, the church is still in there. Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, one thing about...
It still is now, but just...
The big downside of this old map is the west side. It's literally empty. All the houses... I think, this is Zvir, alright? This is empty, literally.
Yep.
There's supposed to be a village.
See, that's the thing. If you were able to combine the western elements of the modern map to the old one, that would be a really, really cool aspect.
I think, is another challenge for you, mate, if you get bored one day. Combine the rework of the Western Corridor with what the old map was, the old Cherno, the old Electro, and just create these hybrid Frankenstein maps that would just, If
I get, Bohemia's permission, I will definitely do some work to, mix the old and the new, and...
Yon, that's my favourite Electro as well, where the church is where the PD is now, where the PD used to be opposite the school and the courtyard, and the hospital was just around the corner, and people used to get up on top of the hospital in Electro, and you'd have the big sniper battles. Everyone used to go up into the hills around Electro and snipe in the town, and just fucking amazing.
I remember the tower in Ulster, you weren't able to climb that in 0.62. What the fuck?
That's not normal.
What the fuck?
That's,
oh shit, we could get in there now. Oh fuck.
Yeah. POV, you're one of the dead people.
I'm sick. No, but that'd be because I remember in Ulster you couldn't climb the tower back in 0.62. It wasn't working, if I remember rightly.
Ulster? Not sure.
I think they've updated Ulster by this stage.
Oh, I mean, I think so. It's just below you there. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Ulster used to just be a series of rocks in a ring.
Yeah, so if you go to the bottom there, I don't think there's a ladder. Oh shit, there is. Okay.
No, there's a ladder because it's the new assets.
Oh
Like it's,
shit! Yes. You're
so
right.
when I
okay.
go, for example, here at the
Yes,
fire
because the L
station,
barracks, and the fire station. Yes.
yeah. Of course, now we can get inside.
Yes,
in
of
this
course.
part.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know why, but I just instantly went back to fucking 0.63.
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that.
Churchy, what do you think of it, mate?
Be honest, if he sat there and he combined them both, I would say Chernarus Has Fallen has a new map.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm loving this. This is awesome. Seeing the old style map with new assets, stuff that I've never seen before.
Yep.
Oh,
and that's what people need to remember. For a lot of DayZ players now, and if they ported this across to console, it would be a whole new game for a lot of people. Yes, some of the stuff would be the same, but they would be discovering. It's one of the reasons why people like playing on modified maps like you make, DOJ, for the difference, and people getting to see the old. If you went back and you did the old Northeast Airfield. And getting to see, they may have grown up watching Frankie on PC videos, watching Mr. Blackout videos, and so on. Putting these buildings in, and it would be fucking awesome. It would be awesome. Absolutely. It'd be an easy win for Bohemia to release, Chernarus Classic, OG Chernarus, whatever they want to call them. Just make it, yeah.
There you go. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if it's how it used to look.
No, it's not, but it would still bring back memories. The runway was completely different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There was a crash plane down the end, and there was, I think, 2 hangars. There was a barracks, 1 barracks, I think, and the ATC building, yeah.
And I'm speedrunning this, man.
Okay, Dream, calm down.
There you go. That's your old Northeast.
There we go. Yay! Lit air.
So scope.
But keep up the good work, mate. Like I said to you when we were chatting earlier, modders, I think I said it at the start of the show as well, modders are what keeps this game alive. Not content creators, it's fucking modders. The modders keep the content creators here because they're always giving them new content to play with. So, yeah, without you guys, we're screwed. Support modders. Hashtag support modders.
Give us money.
Help fuel their passion. Yep.
Can I say, by the way, like, having such a big render distance is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it looks so different, and just look at this.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
See, I've always tried to recommend people to on their servers to have their render distance as far out as they can, but it's very difficult to pull off. From what I understand.
I have a very high-end computer, and even this is hard to run. Like when I turn the camera pretty quick, it's
yeah, you can kind of tell. Yeah,
but it looks beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
You can see Green Mountain from here.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, enough reminiscing. I'm going to get a chubby. So I had a thought during the week. Has anyone got a server where every available map is linked by the new hive? Mods available, one where you can travel across every single map released. And we ended up having a discussion, and Ike D was the first person I thought of, because I'm pretty sure he has a server of every map. Sorry, he has every map available under his Ike Die's range of servers. And he said he's going to look into it. I'm fucking excited. I think that would be a winning fucking formula for any community out there. Whether Ike does it, whether someone, I know Ike's going to test whether it's possible because, you know, he's a man of leisure. He's got a lot of free time on his hands around work and stuff like that. So he's going to have a play with it. I tagged him with Dumpgra because we all know Dumpgra helped make the mod as well. Yeah. Removing the volumetric fog looks amazing as well. Jad fucking trolling you hard in chat there, DOJ.
Can we ban this guy?
Fucking saying.
But Zyson saying we had 5 maps linked on Stranded. There is a little bit of modding work to fix incompatibilities. So I think that would be amazing. I know I would probably play on the server. If you set it up well, you had loot unique to certain servers, so people had to travel. Just imagine the journeys you could take on that. I know there'd be a bit of an issue, you know, with I don't know whether you can have vehicles teleport across and stuff like that. But imagine having to travel through 4 maps to get to, say, Namalsk to try to find ammo for your railgun that you've got back on Chernarus or something like that. I think if it's done well, it could be an absolute winning formula for a community.
Yes, it would be really, really cool to see it happen if it is actually possible. I know Dumpgra and Damon unfortunately tested extensively with a lot of different scenarios, but for a community to come together to create like a whole bunch of Deddy boxes with a whole bunch of different maps, like, you know, Chernarus, Takistan, Namalsk, Deer Island, Swan Island, just to name a few, to get them all together would require a very, very, very large player base and a very, very large community. Any kind of like small community, it would not succeed. Not a chance. But to have the feature of doing all of that might bring in the players. But yeah. I don't know. I hope to get some results from Mike D about this to see how far people can really drive that mod down the you know what I mean.
But I love the hide mod in general, and it's great seeing servers like Chernarus has fallen, DayZ Down Under, New Dawn, and so on experimenting with it. It's fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're right.
Oh, angry beef about something. What else have we got? Takistan clothing pack. This was something else. I actually tried out Takistan this week, and I actually really like the map. I know a lot of people complain about how it's a bit empty and all the rest of it. I was even chatting with my son about it. But I did a tweet where I said someone desperately needs to make an Arab-style clothing pack for Takistan. That was one of the things that ruined it for me, is you're obviously in an Arab-style country and coming across and finding purple puffer jacket, woman's suit jacket, men's suit jacket, just clothing that doesn't seem to fit to the style of the map. And Yon tagged the person who I had in mind, Windstride, and I said, naturally, yeah, of course, we need to crowdfund this. We need to, get see if Windstride would be into it, and get him to make a clothing pack for the mod, so that it's part of the Takistan map mod, a bit like, Namalsk has. So it's a mod you could just download to add to it, remove all the other fucking clothing, if you want to, and have, just some basic stuff, business shirts and stuff like that, but have, shemags and have robes and stuff like that are more conducive, to the environment. What do you reckon, DOJ?
Oh, I'm down, yeah. Like, I'm all about, like, immersions and, details, so.
Because it was really annoying. You end up obviously going with military gear, but it was just finding all this other, little denim shorts. Who's going to wear them in fucking sandstorms? Yeah, it's funny, but you would be taking damage like you do in the sandstorms, but I would just love to see a custom clothing or mod made for that map. What about you, Churchy?
I'm always down for new clothing that actually works well with servers, the maps, and I'm like how you're saying, they, of course, someone will make it with just the military clothing, but what about the civilians? Like, I would love to see it too. I'm
Yeah.
a huge fan of it, so
Yeah,
let's do it.
you spawn in and you're wearing a fucking robe instead of a shirt and bloody pants or something like that. You spawn in, sort of in character.
I mean, yeah, it would be really, really cool to see happen, like a bunch of modders or just even one individual modder come together to create like a proper clothing pack. But I think one of the reasons why people don't is that Takistan Plus at the moment doesn't have any kind of mechanics that would promote it. Like, how like I said before, like with Namalsk, it has the extreme cold. It's it's very cold environment and you have to wear stuff accordingly. With Takistan Plus, there's no such feature. So the demand for those kind of clothing is purely just for cosmetics. So in the future, if there was kind of like a Takistan Plus edition mod, where the clothes are introduced along with that feature, that would be a great combination. That would be a really, really great combination. Definitely.
Like, if you were dressed and you had a shamag on and you had traditional robes on or something like that, clothing is designed for the environment. Maybe you don't take damage when the sandstorm hits to give you an incentive to actually wear it. I'd love to see more goggles, tactical goggles that seal around your eyes. Because having, been on operations in a desert environment, we all wore them because they just protected your eyes from the grit flying up from the wind.
Yeah, I mean, on Takistan servers that I play, or a Takistan server, because I only play on the one, I wear Windstride shamag around the neck. I've got, like, goggles, like, that seal around the eyes. I've got it, like, I proper try and dress up accordingly to the environment, even if it sacrifices space in my inventory and, whatever, but I don't feel the negative effects of it because there's no, like, heat environment, so to speak. So once that's introduced, even through a mod of the mod or natively with the Takistan Plus mod, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. And if Windstride does come together and becomes an absolute fucking mad lad and creates another clothing mod just for that, that would be really cool.
Like I said, Windstride, if you're down for it, mate, we could see about creating a GoFundMe or a fucking Kickstarter or whatever to try and get it funded, to get it donated to the people who created the Takistan map so they can upload it as a mod to go with their map. Here's the clothing and maybe some equipment as well, because some of the stuff you find, it'd be nice to find food items that instead of having Russian writing on them or Western writing on them, have Arab writing on them. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would actually be really cool. And just like YohnofChernarus was saying in chat there about the sandstorm being that feature, I mean, yes, I suppose, but at the same time, the Namalsk has that overall cold feeling. Like as soon as you spawn, you are dying because you're freezing. So you have to wear quickly to get the right clothes to warm up. And, after a while, say in Takistan Plus, you're out in the environment and you're wearing clothes that are too thick or too hot for you, then you start to get dehydrated more and you start getting like that bad heat damage.
I was actually starting to get quite hot the other day on it. I kept on going yellow temperature and I was wearing a lot of military gear. So I was paying attention to that. I think I had a balaclava on thinking that would provide me with some protection. So I ended up dropping that. And it would be good to see them add some more elements on the heat side of things. You dehydrate quicker.
Definitely.
I do notice that during sandstorms your dehydration goes up,
which is great. That's I've noticed that as well. You take damage, rightfully so, but definitely it slows down gameplay a lot because even though you don't lose too much damage in my experience, but I would assume it depends from server to server. To just stay inside a building until that passes over because there's no clothes that really protect you from it can be quite annoying, I'd imagine. So I would definitely recommend something like that.
Yep.
But we'll just see what happens.
Now, I wanted to shout out the Hell Retech Survival mod, mainly because you were on today, Churchypoo. And I think we've covered this one before, but it's such a fucking complex mod, folks. If you're looking for a way to add a challenge to your server, this is a great mod. Improvised tools. You can make an improvised saw. And they've got these nice little recipe cards that you can put in your Discord, or you could combine them and make a book that you could find in the game that give people a guide on how to craft all of this stuff. So it gets people being more survivalist as opposed to just loot and find everything they need. It's an amazing little mod, isn't it, Churchy?
It is.
It is. We actually came across something that I would like to look into. I don't know if it's like a server side or something, but if you make the sledgehammer, you can't finish making your flagpole. And I've came across that issue, and someone else just came across that issue the other day.
Okay.
So that would be one thing that I would say we should try to get it fixed. Other than that, this thing is amazing. I'm thinking about doing like a little video and posting it into Chernarus Has Fallen Discord so people can actually see, hey, this is how you do this, or this is something that's on Chernarus Has Fallen. Because not many people know about this mod pack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like my favorite, and I'm telling you, everyone's been using it ever since they found out about it, the crossbow.
Yep.
That is godlike, man. As soon as you make it, you can make the parts easily. The bolts. You just take a hammer to the sheet metal stuff, and boom, you got the bolt. And it's quiet. It literally sounds like it's kind of funny. It kind of sounds like you're shooting a grenade launcher. How it goes thump. Literally sounds just like that, but it's so silent. Like the zombies don't get affected by it. Like they can't hear it. So it's something you definitely, if you don't have it on your server and you want to have more of like a survival aspect, definitely go for it.
Yeah.
And then you've got the craftable shotgun here as well. Nice little recipe card that explains it. I think it's back to front, which confused me initially when I first saw it. It should be reading left to right, but once you understand that it's right to left, it's not a big issue. But yeah, such a good little mod. Such a damn good little mod. Highly worth checking out if you're looking for something, just a little bit of a challenge for your server.
Mm-hmm.
Get people a bit more immersed.
So right, yeah.
We are down to individual spotlights now. We'll start with you, Churchy. What would you like to shout out, mate?
I don't know, just Chernarus Has Fallen.
Nice.
Everyone just seriously check out the server if you like hardcore survival. Yeah, and if you guys have
Where's it
any
based?
questions, the server based, it's now in New York City.
Yep.
Trying to get some Americans over as well, because I know a lot of European people, they played on it. So I'm trying
It's a good central location. It'll make my ping better.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to bring not just, one section of the world to it. I'm wanting to bring everyone to it.
A truly global community.
Yeah, and once we get the Deer Isle working as well, it's just gonna be amazing. I can't wait. There's so much more stuff I have wanting to do, and I have stuff up my sleeves that I'm thinking about doing. I'm actually gonna start looking into how to do my own mod stuff, so then I can bring more.
It's a rabbit hole, my friend. It's a rabbit hole, isn't it, lad and Jesus?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one thing you need to be careful of, and Spud actually sent me a message, a lot of the stuff you're talking about is fucking awesome, and I salute you for it, but be careful of burnout, bro. don't overcommit yourself. These servers can become. Do you have a missus and kids?
Yes, I do.
It can become just a sinkhole of time and money for you. So be very careful. Pace yourself. Don't overcommit. Hey, lad.
That's why,
Trust
like,
is-
every week I
yeah.
do a little by little.
Yeah.
Wish I fucking could. I'm going through that burnout right now. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, trust us, mate. Like, space it all out. Just take it in chunks, and just don't put your fingers in so many pies like I'm fucking doing.
What about you, DOJ? What's your shout out for the week, mate?
Well, I guess Summaric for the update.
Yeah.
I still haven't played it because it didn't have time, but holy shit, this is amazing. What he managed to craft, like on a Namalsk.
Yep.
So I guess, yeah, it goes to him and a few people like Ziz and again, the one for helping me on some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, again,
Lad,
like the new update on
Oh.
Namalsk is amazing.
it is.
No,
Yeah.
go for it.
Lad, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was going to say Sumrak as well. Like, with Namalsk's new update and with one more update coming up before the end of the year, got to show the lad some appreciation. He's making this, he's making Namalsk his baby fully becoming realized while also being the lead developer for the game. You got to give the guy and the rest of the dev team some mad respect for what they're doing. So that's really all I got to say on that. It's everything's just been absolutely remarkable for it, and I can't see where it all leads to in the future.
Awesome. Me, I want to shout out just modders in general. I've harped on it again, and I will continue to harp on it. They are the salt of the earth. They are the backbone of DayZ. Find a mod, find a modder, support them, chuck some cash their way, help them test their stuff, get in their Discords, be active, and just do what you can to keep them motivated and enthusiastic, because we don't want to lose modders to other games or stuff like that. We want to keep them in this amazing game, this DayZ, and keep on creating more awesomeness for all of us.
Too right. Yeah.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have one more thing. Oh, how did I almost forget this? What the hell? Page not found.
Oh
Log.
no.
Ooh. What? Ooh, what's this?
They took down the interview with Lee.
Oh, bastards!
I wonder what happened there.
Oh,
Yeah, they had
Who was it? Was it a
meet
new,
the Bohemian, the new community manager, Lee, and it was up, but now it's gone. So I don't know what's going on there, but I read through it, and it was a fascinating interview.
oh,
So, well, we won't be covering that. I'll have to try and find out what's going on there. So, yeah, we are done for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Next week's guest on the DayZ podcast is the one, the only, Batty Mode. And OG11 is coming on as our guest host next week as well. So we will be finding out more about Batty. It was actually a suggestion to me from Scotty to get Batty on, one of the bad girls or the badass women of DayZ. So I think Helkiana was our first female guest. I think she's our second. I've been trying to get more on, but they're all very hesitant. I must be, a scary, ugly-looking man. No, I can't see why they'd be scared of me.
yeah.
Yeah. Churchy, thank you so much for coming on, mate. I really appreciated speaking to you. And, yeah, definitely check out that monetization policy, mate.
And thank you for having us on here, man. I do appreciate it.
Good luck with the
Nice
server,
server,
mate. You're doing God's work taking over. You know, it's running a hardcore server is probably one of the hardest types of servers to run. Arguably, you know, running a PvP high loot focused server is probably pretty hard as well because there's so many of them. But hardcore PvE based servers really struggle because there's not a massive community of people who like to torture themselves like I do. So good luck with it, mate.
Thank you.
DanceofJesus, thank you so much for coming on at short notice to be our guest host, mate.
Thanks for inviting me.
Keep up the good work, mate. You're doing God's fucking work in the background there, buddy. With all this map creation stuff. And also remember, folks, if you would like some custom work done for a server, hit DanceofJesus up. I'll have his Twitter link in the profile, in the description of the video down below. He is available for commission work, and he does good quality fucking work. Who are some of the people you've done jobs for, mate? Just so people know. Name some servers that you've done work on.
Karma Cruise, Minder, what have I done? Helkiana, I think. There's quite a bunch, honestly.
And Minder is a very demanding person to work for, folks.
Yeah.
He has very specific ideas of what he wants, and for DJ to have done work for him speaks to the quality of the work that he does.
Yeah, and because he's like so specific on certain things, like I always end up making the best work, and like some of the small areas I've done for him, like they're like my favorite.
Yeah. Lad, as always, mate, thank you for coming. You've had a big lifestyle change, mate, working back as a 9 till 5 man almost.
Yeah, I mean, part-time, the shifts change each week. So this coming week I'll be in the mornings, and then next week will be in the afternoons.
Yeah.
It's just, mate, it's definitely been a nice change, but mate, I got a job, I'm making money, I'm
fucking no. We're all a capitalist whore at heart, mate.
Well, yeah.
Money makes the world go round. In a perfect world, we wouldn't need it, but I don't know if that's a perfect world I want to live in. I like making money. I like people being rewarded financially for their work, and that's why I say #support fucking modders.
Damn right, brother.
Damn right. All the best, everyone, and we will see you next week, same time, same channels, as always, for episode 74 of the DayZ Podcast with Batty Mode and OG Levin as our guest host. All the best, and ciao for now.
Take care,
Later.
everyone.
Say bye-bye. Churchy.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, fellas.
See you later.